America is rich with lessons in diversity and immigration and filled with characters from pilgrims to present times. Our next guest takes us through the calendar year from back alleys to one semi-famous story per day. Joining us now is Carl Cannon, author of On This Date and Washington bureau chief at Real Clear Politics, a website dedicated to bringing nonpartisan analysis. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. I
know that you write every day a little snippet from history, and as you can see by all of my tabs, I'm loving your book, On This Date. I went through, I found all of the different Catholics through here. I went right through from Kennedy to Katie Ledecky to my favorite, the Dodger GM Campanis, who said that Campanis, right, who said that 2 times in his life, the hair stood up on his arms the first time he saw the Sistine Chapel, and
the second time when he saw Sandy Koufax throw a fastball.
Why did you write this book?
I wrote this book because I started we are at a time where we need things to unify us. And people get so excited, especially with Donald Trump in the White House, but even before, in the last few years, we're so partisan. But we have so much that unifies us. And if we know our history, we realize a few things about ourselves. One is that we're a welcoming country to immigrants. Let's just say that. I don't want to get into the debate illegal and legal.
Let's not talk about politics. Let's go on with your book, right?
But the other thing is that we're problem-solving people. When we have issues that we've dealt with in the past, and we deal with them, and we usually come out of it stronger than we were before.
Let's take a look at September 17th, 1960, Remember the Alamo. And this is a time when then candidate John Kennedy went to the Alamo. Tell us this. He says, "I am not the Catholic candidate for president." And then he attempted to go on to say what?
Well, remember, he went to the Houston Ministerial Association, all these Baptist pastors, at a time when Southern Baptists in this country and Southern religious people were fearful of a Catholic presidency. The Pope will be running Washington. I mean, it's a kind of hysteria. If you live through it, you can't forget it.
It says here, Greenville's oldest Methodist church said that a Catholic president would surely cut America's head off.
That's right. And so on the way there, he brings it up in West Virginia, he goes to North Carolina, but on the way to Houston for this showdown with these Baptist pastors, and Kennedy carried the day, that's when he said, "I'm not going to be the Catholic president, I'm going to be the president." But he stopped at the Alamo, and he asked his guys there, this Irish mafia, they called it, Kenny O'Donnell and Dave Powers and these people, find out how many Catholics died at the Alamo. Well, they couldn't find that out. But they gave him the next best thing, a list of Irish-American names.
Which most likely were probably Catholic, okay.
But Kennedy said it was perfect. It was even better because some of them were probably Protestant. He said, he read the Irish names and he said, we don't know how many of them were Catholic because there was no religious test at the Alamo.
Thank you so much for writing this book, for coming to visit me here at News Nightly. Carl Cannon, author of On This Date, Washington bureau chief at Real Clear Politics. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.